Hey there guys and gals, I'm Alexandria and today we're going to take a look at some of the best sci-fi fiction films of the last decade. Dating all the way back to 1927's silent sci-fi epic Metropolis, science fiction and cinema have proven to be a perfect fit. They go together like E.T. and Phoning Home, like HAL 9000 and Opening the Pod Bay Doors, like Terminator and... well, you get the point. Audiences have always been captivated by exploring the what-if, related to topics like time travel, alien life forms, and artificial intelligence. And over the years, we've seen some truly masterful depictions of these topics. So let's take a look at some of the more recent entries into the genre that stand out as possible future classics. In our number 10 spot is 2013's release, Snowpiercer. Bong Joon-ho made major waves last year with his film Parasite, which went on to win numerous awards, including Best Picture at the 2020 Academy Awards. But it's the South Korean filmmaker's English debut, Snowpiercer, that finds itself in our number 10 spot. Adapted from a French graphic novel, Snowpiercer follows the post-apocalyptic story of a train circling the planet, carrying the last of Earth's surviving humans during a new ice age. The train is split into different compartments, with the front of the train housing the higher class, who eat well and live luxuriously, and the back of the train that houses the lower class, who are mistreated and abused. When a band of people from the back of the train, led by Chris Evans' Curtis, decide to revolt and fight their way to the front, a bloody, action-packed sci-fi adventure unfolds. Number 9 on our list goes to Edgar Wright's World's End, the third installment in the so-called Cornetto trilogy, which also includes Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. This sci-fi comedy follows a group of men in their 40s who return to their hometown and attempt to complete an epic pub crawl, only to come home and find that the town has been taken over by androids from another world posing as the town's residents. Starring frequent Wright collaborators Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, this might be the funniest film about murderous alien cyborgs that you will ever see. Number 8, Chronicle, released in 2012. Director Josh Trank might be best known for his absolutely abysmal Fantastic Four reboot from 2015, but it was his debut film Chronicle that first got him noticed and gave him the opportunity to direct the absolute worst superhero movie ever.
Please don't let there be. Oh, come on! Oh my god! Come on! Oh my god! Don't even! Ah!
Chronicle uses found footage style of storytelling as it follows 3 high school boys who discover an alien artifact that gives them telekinetic abilities. As their strength and power with these new abilities grow, they begin to realize just how dangerous they can be. The film plays out like a superhero origin tale, but done in a new and original way that bypasses the cliches and superhero tropes that are largely dominated by the genre. Starring Michael B. Jordan and Dane DeHaan, Chronicle proves that Trank can be a talented filmmaker when given the right material, and Chronicle was definitely a perfect fit. Alright, our number 7 pick is 2018's release, Upgrade. Our number 7 pick, Upgrade, flew under a lot of viewers' radars and went relatively unwatched throughout its short theatrical run. Now that's extremely unfortunate, considering what an absolute thrill ride this movie is. A vicious attack ends with Gray Trace paralyzed and his wife ruthlessly murdered. But when Gray receives a new artificial intelligence implant known as STEM, he regains the ability to walk, and along with a slew of other abilities he uses to track down the men who murdered his wife in a brutal journey for revenge. Filled with epically choreographed fight scenes and enough surprises to keep you guessing until the very end, this movie is bound to enter the status of cult classic in the years to come. Number 6, 2012's Looper. Now, before Rian Johnson tackled the Star Wars universe with The Last Jedi, he had a resounding success in the sci-fi world with 2012's Looper. Now, no matter what side of the fan debate you fall on regarding the quality of The Last Jedi, whether you think it's a masterpiece or whether you think it's the worst thing to happen to Star Wars since Jar Jar Binks, we can all agree that Looper is in a league of its own, featuring an absolutely stellar cast led by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bruce Willis, and Emily Blunt, as well as a superb script, elevate this film above other lackluster sci-fi films from the same year. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays Joe, a hired hitman for the mob in a future where time travel is possible. Joe's employers send their targets backwards in time, where Joe, known as the Looper, is standing by ready to eliminate them, leaving no crime scene or evidence in the future. But when an older version of himself, played by Bruce Willis, is sent back as the intended target, Joe becomes entangled in a mystery and a race against time that he may not survive. In our number 5 spot is 2018's release, High Life. Robert Pattinson may still be primarily known for his role in the Twilight series by many, but the actor has gone on to have incredible success with smaller, independent, and more artistic cinema like Good Time, The Lighthouse, and our number 5 pick, High Life. High Life is a dramatic, slow-burning story in the vein of classics like Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey and Tarkovsky's Solaris, following a man and his young daughter who are now the only remaining survivors on a space shuttle hurtling towards a black hole. This beautifully mysterious tale unwinds just a little at a time, never giving away too much. Pattinson's performance is engaging and heartbreaking and truly showcases the actor's potential. If you only know Robert Pattinson as the sparkling high school heartthrob, do yourself a favor and check out this underappreciated gem. In our number 4 spot is Arrival, released in 2016. Director Denis Villeneuve's Arrival takes our number 4 spot. It's the story of alien contact on Earth, but rather than a violent invasion as depicted in films like Independence Day or War of the Worlds, the aliens' beings' intentions in Arrival are vague and unknown. When spaceships touch down at different locations across the planet, the human race is understandably on edge. Fearful of a possible pending attack, linguist Professor Louise Banks, played by Amy Adams, is brought in to try and decipher messages from these extraterrestrials and communicate with them. As tensions rise, Louise finds herself in a race against the clock, desperate to successfully understand and reply to the beings who use odd shapes and symbols in their attempts to communicate, before an all-out war is sparked that could see the human race wiped out from the face of the Earth. In our number 3 spot is 2014's release,
Ex Machina.
Alex Garland's directorial debut,
Ex Machina,
was an astounding accomplishment. A truly character-driven story intertwined with sci-fi plot to create a perfect blend of drama, suspense, and mystery. This film also went on to win Academy Award for Best Achievement in Special Effects. Domhnall Gleeson plays Caleb, a programmer for a major internet company who is chosen to spend a week at the estate of his firm's eccentric CEO. When he arrives, Caleb learns that his purpose at the estate is to act as the human component in a Turing test, a test designed to determine the consciousness and abilities of artificial intelligence. Once face-to-face with the incredibly beautiful, lifelike, and extremely intelligent robot, Caleb begins to realize that her intellect is far superior to anything he could have imagined, and that his boss's motives may not have been as innocent as they first appeared. Number 2, Blade Runner 2049, released in 2017. Taking on a sequel to a sci-fi masterpiece like Blade Runner is no easy task. After all, Ridley Scott's 1982 film is widely considered one of the greatest sci-fi fiction films of all time. So, when it was announced that a sequel was in the works over 30 years after the original film's release, and that Ridley Scott would not be returning to the director's chair, fans were skeptical to say the very least. However, Blade Runner 2049 surpassed anybody's expectations and in many ways surpasses its predecessor in terms of storytelling. Ryan Gosling plays Officer K, who works as a Blade Runner. Director Denis Villeneuve, fresh off the success of Arrival, took on the world of Blade Runner and expanded it, delving deeper into its lore and expanding upon its questions of life, death, and what it means to be human. In our number 1 spot is 2018's Annihilation. While Alex Garland's debut film took the number 3 slot on our list, it's his follow-up work, Annihilation, that steals the number 1 spot. Natalie Portman leads an all-star cast, including Oscar Isaac and Tessa Thompson, in this mind-bending sophomore effort by Garland. When a strange phenomenon known as Area X begins to expand across an area of American coastline, teams of soldiers and scientists struggle to understand what it is and what's inside of it. The only issue being that once people enter Area X, they tend to disappear. We follow Natalie Portman as she leads a search and rescue research team into the mysterious new world filled with the equally terrifying and beautiful imagery. This film will drag you to the edge of your seat and have you questioning everything by the end of its 2-hour runtime. So there you have it. What do you think? Are these films destined for the cinematic history books, or be wiped from memory like Tears in the Rain? Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. I'm Alexandria. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.
Don't even!